Salesforce. It's the company you've likely heard of before, or you've at least seen their iconic blue logo or office building in SF, but unless you've worked in sales, marketing, or IT, you probably don't know exactly what they do. And you definitely should, as it's one of the largest software players in the world, and it powers so many of the businesses you and I interact with every day. So in this video, I'll be covering everything you need to know about Salesforce. Salesforce is the leading cloud-based enterprise software company. To put it simply, they sell software to other companies to better help them run their business. Founded in 1999 by Oracle alum Mark Benioff, along with Parker Harris, Dave Mollenhoff, and Frank Dominguez, Salesforce was built in response to the outdated ERP software that was typically run in large corporations. ERP, or Enterprise Resource Planning software, was the first real software for businesses that provided front-to-back visibility into its entire operations and processes. Instead of recording all of their data transactions in paper documents and Rolodexes, they could log them in a centralized database and in many cases, automate that logging process. This incredible combination of data centralization, digitization, and productivity led the companies wanting to apply the same technology to other parts of their business. The issue with this was that core ERP was built as a rigid solution and had to be customized with lengthy and expensive implementations to reflect the different user personas and processes that were to be digitized. Salesforce was the first of these specialized applications to be released and, like its name suggests, was focused on sales. In 2000, it built a customer relationship management or CRM product dubbed Sales Cloud that was designed specifically to streamline and automate sales processes. Unlike legacy ERP that was run via on-premise servers, Salesforce was hosted on the cloud. And the advantages for the customer were numerous, with perhaps the biggest revelation being the ability to access the software over the internet via a web browser, instead of having to run it on local RAM. This made Salesforce the pioneer in the SaaS, or software as a service delivery model, a model where users subscribe to a software service instead of having to purchase and install it. Additional benefits of the cloud include lower costs due to shorter implementation times, managed multi-tenant workloads and no high upfront costs, more predictable operating expenses, the elimination of upgrade cycles, and high availability. In the beginning, Sales Cloud was incredibly successful with small and medium business customers, as the costs and implementation times were vastly lower than that of on-premise alternatives. But over time, as more features were added, and with the rise of cloud adoption, Sales Cloud evolved into a best-of-breed solution and was able to penetrate into the enterprise segment, taking significant market share in CRM from the ERP old guard in Oracle and SAP. One of the biggest drivers of this enterprise growth was the 2008 financial crisis, where the investment priorities for CIOs suddenly shifted from long, drawn-out projects to technologies that would produce a fast ROI. And SaaS solutions like Salesforce were perfect for this environment, ultimately resulting in the cloud as a whole taking off and starting a new era of enterprise digital transformation that continues to this day. As Salesforce continued to develop Sales Cloud, the number of use cases it could handle grew enough to the point that they could be separated into distinct product suites. The first of these suites came in 2009 with Service Cloud, followed by Marketing Cloud, Commerce Cloud, and Data Cloud, with each suite serving a different part of the enterprise. In addition to these product offerings, Salesforce has also acquired multiple businesses, including MuleSoft, Tableau, and Slack that it also sells, as well as launching its own app store in 2005, dubbed AppExchange. Today, Salesforce is the market leader in their core CRM offering and has a well-rounded enterprise application suite that tackles sales and marketing automation, customer service, app development, e-commerce, business intelligence, integrations, and workstream collaboration. They consistently rank amongst the top companies in the world in terms of market cap, and their products power over 90% of the Fortune 500. Salesforce has a wide range of products that are distinguished both by product capabilities and the personas in which they serve. Starting with their flagship CRM product, Sales Cloud is a tool for sales teams that helps them manage their entire sales process, increasing productivity and accelerating sales cycles. It offers a number of features, including lead and opportunity management, forecasting and reporting, account and contact management, as well as process and territory tracking. Today, Sales Cloud is widely considered the gold standard in the industry for CRM, with a commanding 23% market share and growing 12% year over year to $1.7 billion in their most recent quarter. Service Cloud was launched in 2009 and enables businesses to better deliver customer service via a seamless omni-channel experience across email, chat, mobile, and other mediums. And it consolidates all that case information in one clean ticketing portal for the support team. The product also provides self-service capabilities for customers, such as a knowledge base, virtual community, an AI-powered chatbot called Einstein to reduce human assistance with common inquiries. Service Cloud is currently Salesforce's largest business, generating $1.9 billion in Q3 and up 12% year over year. Released in 2012, Marketing Cloud helps marketing teams automate and personalize their campaigns to produce a better ROI. The suite was developed off a number of acquisitions, such as ExactTarget for $2.5 billion, at the time the number one email marketing solution, Radian6 for around $300 million, a leading social media monitoring platform, and Buddy Media for $745 million, a social marketing platform. Expanded from the 2016 acquisition of the Manware for $2.8 billion, Commerce Cloud provides businesses and brands with a dedicated solution to launch e-commerce sites, boost marketing campaigns, and optimize SEO performance. Commerce Cloud is the smallest of Salesforce's cloud products, and so is often reported alongside Marketing Cloud when it comes to earnings, with the combined clouds contributing $1.1 billion in Q3 with 12% year-over-year growth. Salesforce also ships an application platform as a service, where developers can build directly on top of Salesforce's own infrastructure, either by traditional coding or their low-code app builder. And this has proven to be massively successful, with multi-billion-dollar companies like Viva Systems, Copado, and Encino emerging out of this offering. Salesforce's platform provides built-in features such as security and compliance, AI chatbots, and data visualization. Paired along with App Exchange, developers can easily create and distribute their applications similar to Apple's iOS platform and their App Store. Acquired in 2018 for $6.5 billion, MuleSoft is an integration solution that facilitates data migration from one enterprise platform to another via APIs. This is vital for large companies, as most have adopted a multi-vendor IT stack to handle certain functions, with examples being Salesforce for sales, Workday for HR, and ServiceNow for IT, and need to move this data across these platforms. Tableau is Salesforce's business intelligence and data analytics solution it acquired in 2019 for $15.7 billion. Tableau gives companies deep insights into their business by querying their databases and generating graph and chart type visualizations. Reported alongside MuleSoft, these acquisitions combined for $1 billion in revenue for the quarter, up 13% year over year. Salesforce's biggest acquisition to date came in 2021 in the form of Slack, which they purchased for roughly $28 billion. Slack is one of the two leading business communication solutions, along with Microsoft Teams, that provides a medium in which teams can collaborate with each other in real time. For Salesforce, this opened the possibility of stringing together all of their business applications, as Slack is that rare product which is used by every person in the enterprise and can act as a universal front-end to each of those applications. Together with the platform, Slack generated $1.5 billion for the quarter, with 18% year-over-year growth. Salesforce's most recent in-house innovation came in 2022 in the form of its customer data platform, Genie, a data lakehouse similar to that of Databricks. The end game for this product is to create a one-stop shop to visualize all of the customer's interactions in real time. And they do this by aggregating all of the enterprise's data into a single source of truth, either by native integrations or through MuleSoft, and then using that data to create visualizations in Tableau or to drive customer engagement. Salesforce operates with the software as a service delivery model it first introduced with its CRM product. Whereas the older business model of licensing was focused on selling software licenses that would later have to be repurchased whenever a new version was released, the SaaS model was based on a subscription business where companies would pay a fixed amount for the software on a monthly or yearly basis, and updates would be done seamlessly over the internet at no additional cost. This was revolutionary to the industry in that providers who previously had somewhat unpredictable revenues based on the number of new or updated licenses sold now had very obvious revenues given the recurring nature of subscriptions. The company's go-to-market strategy is fairly typical of B2B in that they emphasize direct selling and marketing to attract, sell to, and retain customers. Being a larger software company, they employ a top-down strategy, having their army of sales reps target enterprise C-suite executives who negotiate contract terms depending on the customer's needs, budget, and number of employees. These sales teams can then leverage the number of products Salesforce has to both create more angles of entry and to sweeten the deal through bundling products by either discounting or throwing them in for free. Salesforce also relies on the robust partner ecosystem, where system integrators and consulting firms like Accenture, EY, and Deloitte play an enormous role in both selling Salesforce to prospective customers and supporting those customers through customizing and integrating the Salesforce instance into their existing IT infrastructure. The shift in the cloud towards industry solutions has also been monumental in assisting Salesforce's go-to-market strategy. Industry cloud solutions are tailor-made versions of existing products that have specialized features designed to meet the needs of a specific industry, such as healthcare, financial services, and manufacturing. For example, Salesforce offers a healthcare cloud solution catered towards hospitals, clinics, and other organizations with pre-built out-of-the-box capabilities such as patient record management, appointment scheduling, and revenue cycle management. And industry clouds have been a huge hit as it helps organizations reach quicker time to value and lowers their overall implementation costs. And for Salesforce sales reps, it enables them to better communicate business value to the decision makers of the customer. This has ultimately resulted in larger deal sizes due to these solutions coming at a premium relative to the standard product. And we see this play out as 8 out of the 10 largest deals in Q4 2021 included an industry cloud product. Likely the most important part of their go-to-market strategy is the land and expand tactic. Land and expand is the method in which B2B companies first sell 1 or 2 products, in Salesforce's case, Sales or Service Cloud, and over time, upsell those existing customers with additional products. Salesforce has termed their version of this strategy Customer 360, with the goal of trying to sell a customer all of Salesforce's products. And this has been crucial to their growth, with customers having 2 cloud products spending on average 3 times as much as a single cloud customer, and up to 300 times if a customer has purchased 7 cloud products. Getting in closer, an average customer from the 2017 cohort has increased their ACV, or annual contract value, by 3 times in just 5 years, and has gone from averaging 1.7 clouds to 4.1 in 2022. What's more impressive is that only 20% of Salesforce's customers have purchased 4 or more cloud products, and those customers contribute to over 85% of ARR, implying massive growth opportunities ahead right within its existing customer base. The land and expand tactic is dependent on one metric, product velocity, as the company must perpetually spin out new products in order to continuously produce higher customer ACV. And Salesforce is unique in the industry in how they handle product innovation. While they continue to invest in R&D for building out new products and features organically, they spend less than their competitors on R&D as a percentage of revenue, hovering around 13 to 17%, and instead have been incredibly active in purchasing products. As mentioned previously, these include companies like Slack, Tableau, MuleSoft, and Demandware, all of which were market leaders at time of purchase. This buy over build strategy is based on the idea that the acquisitions provide an already established product with a dominant market share in a segment Salesforce wants to compete in, after which they can then deploy their considerable distribution capabilities via their sales teams to scale and upsell these new products to their vast customer base. As a result, they've been able to rapidly expand their product portfolio, increase their total addressable market, and capture high market share in the new segments they enter. One thing that stands out about Salesforce is their rapid rise as a known brand in not just the business industry, but also among everyday consumers. Enterprise software companies have traditionally been unknown to most Americans, with much of the mainstream awareness of software brands like IBM, Microsoft, and Oracle attributed to their long history and contributions towards computing. Salesforce, on the other hand, while still marketing towards business customers, was at the forefront of expanding their presence to consumers, believing that general brand recognition would inevitably result in more sales and in attracting talent. The company has launched Super Bowl and TV ads with famous actors like Matthew McConaughey, sponsored sporting events such as the 2028 Olympics and F1 racing, and even their lease of Salesforce Tower, the tallest tower in San Francisco, as well as the construction of Salesforce Park, were means towards getting their brand out to the public. Salesforce was among the first software companies to really focus on building an overall support ecosystem to further deliver value to customers. And they accomplished this through a variety of avenues. The first is through its aforementioned channel partners, who, in exchange for selling Salesforce's products to prospective customers, get a cut of the deal and access into the professional services business of integrating, customizing, and launching the new instance for the customer. And this has been incredibly lucrative for these partners, with reported partner revenues of over $26 billion in 2022. Second, the App Exchange Marketplace enables third-party applications to connect to Salesforce's own products, allowing Salesforce to extend value to end users, and third-party applications to generate greater monetization by tapping into Salesforce's existing audience. Today, there are over 7,000 applications on their App Store and over 3,000 apps downloaded each day. Lastly, Salesforce has built a community of over 11 million developers, system architects, and admins that they call trailblazers, who can learn new skills, network with other community members, and connect with companies to find Salesforce-related jobs. The company has also proven to have a wide moat, given consumer switching costs, its large array of products, and platform network effects. Customers should be extremely wary when considering moving on from Salesforce. While the time and expense necessary to switch SaaS providers is lower than that of on-prem legacy software products, they still remain high. In addition, migrating away from Salesforce introduces the risk of transferring mission-critical data, as well as the organizational risk that comes from having to retrain a workforce that already has considerable know-how on using the existing solution. As businesses look to consolidate IT vendors, the complementary nature and tight integration of Salesforce's products entrenches them further into the ecosystem, compounding the risks and costs associated with switching with each additional product they subscribe to. The platform itself also contributes to its wide moat, as applications built on the platform are difficult and costly to reproduce. And as business adoption for apps on App Exchange grows, it creates robust network effects due to increased adoption, attracting more developers that then go on to create more applications. The Salesforce story isn't all rosy, as there are a number of risks that could possibly derail their trajectory. The first of which is the lower revenues and operating margins it produces relative to its peers. Salesforce has always posted lower operating margins, and up till now, this was deemed acceptable, given that the company was growing revenue substantially in a macro environment that favored high growth, and that the vast majority of these capital expenditures were spent on reinvestment initiatives back into the business in the form of sales, marketing, R&D, and M&A. However, in the most recent quarter, there's been a huge drawdown in revenue growth, decelerating from 22% to 14% due to the slowdown in the economy and the company reaching significant size and scale. Because of this, investors have shifted their focus from revenue growth over to free cash flow growth, where it has underperformed due to overhiring, investments into non-revenue generating projects such as Salesforce Park, and leasing high-value commercial real estate like Salesforce Tower. While the company has already begun to lay off workers and lease out some of their unused office space, Salesforce will need to make further cuts in their CapEx spend in order to keep up in the current economic environment. Although an aggressive M&A strategy has been key for Salesforce to enter a new market with high market share, there are a few concerns from this practice that have been raised. The first is that they are incredibly expensive, eating heavily into CapEx and increasing share dilution substantially. During an acquisition process, when Company A acquires Company B, they typically pay a large premium over the current market price for Company B. And in the case of Salesforce, many of their acquisitions have occurred in a high multiple market, which further raises the price tag. And after acquiring a business, Salesforce still needs to integrate these products into their own platform, which is incredibly cost and time intensive. Taking a look into their three largest acquisitions to date in MuleSoft, Tableau, and Slack, the eye-watering valuations paid for these businesses require them to double, triple, or even quadruple their revenues in order to produce a market average return on capital. Second is that with this outsourcing of R&D, there are fears that Salesforce essentially deprioritizes its own organic growth prospects. In order for Salesforce to continue to be the dominant SaaS player, it must continue to churn out new products, and they have had a track record of relying too heavily on M&A to bail them out in this regard. With their acquisitions getting larger and facing more regulatory scrutiny, it's essential that they can continue to build out their enterprise suite through in-house innovation. And third, Salesforce runs the risk of clashing cultures when folding in the acquired company. As seen most recently with Slack, employees are unhappy with the cultural differences between the two companies, with even former Slack CEO Stuart Butterfield stating the problem has been there's no incorporation of the Slack culture into the Salesforce culture. Management has continuously reiterated the firm's goal of reaching $50 billion in revenue by fiscal year 2026. Granted that this is an extraordinarily ambitious target, and despite some short-term hurdles, Salesforce does look to be on the right path towards reaching this objective. This stems from the expectation of persisting double-digit revenue growth for the foreseeable future, from world-class sales execution, moving downstream to small and medium businesses, additional product releases, the push towards verticalized industry solutions, new geographical markets, and the continued expansion into existing customer accounts. The company also profits from multiple macro tailwinds, including continual investments by businesses into digital transformation projects, the rise of hybrid and remote work accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemic, and further consolidation of IT platforms. Whether or not the company is able to fulfill their promise of $50 billion by their announced timeframe, there's no denying that Salesforce will remain one of the most successful and influential companies in the world.
And there you have it. Hopefully you've taken away a few new insights about Salesforce and how it operates. If you're interested in seeing more content like this, consider subscribing to the channel, and hitting that like button doesn't hurt either. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.